today to be talking to my friend Amanda. I met Amanda through my connections with the Alliance of International Aromatherapists. She's the representative for the state of California at the time of this recording. And I don't really know much about how she uses aromatherapy in her life and in her business. So I hope you're excited to meet Amanda and learn about everything that she has to offer with her aromatherapy and everything else that she does. So everybody help me welcome Amanda.
Can you hear me now?
There you are! Yay!
I was trying to get fancy, but I won't do fancy just yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So are you in your podcast room?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Pretty, isn't it?
It is. It's lovely. So tell me what you're going to be doing with your podcast.
The title is Something I Can Do. Took me there a second. Sorry. Something I Can Do. Overcoming trauma with aromatherapy and PTSD. Overcoming trauma and PTSD with aromatherapy. It's kind of long. I don't say it very often, so I stumble a bit, but I'm excited.
It's in the infancy, so there's going to be some stumbling. You know, think about a toddler trying to walk.
Absolutely. That's me right now. That's my podcast.
That's really exciting. Well, even if you just leave it at something I can do, you know, people are going to be intrigued.
Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm excited about that. And your room is amazing.
This is at a co-working space here in Vista. It's the first of its kind, as far as I know, ever. It's a co-working space specifically for film and for media. There we go.
Oh, very
so
nice.
they have big rooms for like there's people here that record talk shows and cooking shows and all kinds of different stuff. So I'm around a lot of creatives in this space, and it helps me get out of my bubble and helps me create. It's wonderful. I love it.
Oh, that's exciting. Well, because energy transfers, right? And so if you're, you know, I don't want to say sucking, but
no,
drawing on that energy, that's going to be really great.
Absolutely. Yeah. Feeling the energy. It just, being around it just energizes you. So it's exciting.
That's really exciting. So have you already recorded episodes, or are you in
I have. I'm still in the editing phase. Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What made you decide you wanted to do a podcast?
So at the AIA conference last fall, I met an up-and-coming essential oil company, Savhera, and we got talking. The founder, the co-founder, and I, Vanessa Boucher, we started talking, and she was picking my brain and trying to figure out different ways to get the word about aromatherapy out there. She started Savhera for completely different purposes. Knew very minimal about essential oils. Her entire purpose was to help women get out of trafficking. So she chose essential oils, and she was kind of picking my brain and said, well, you know, all this stuff that you're talking about, like, this isn't general knowledge. It would be great if there was a podcast out there that people could hear different aspects of aromatherapy. And since trauma is where my niche is, I suppose, in aromatherapy, it evolved that way. Her and I started working on it for Savhera, and that it didn't really fit that. So I picked up the ball, and I'm going to do it. She's going to be a guest, a regular guest, and I'll have other guests. Hopefully you will be one of my guests. Will you be a guest?
I would love to be a guest on your podcast. Yes, that would be great. I was going to say something and it totally left. Yeah, gone.
Oh,
totally gone.
It happens.
So I don't know much about you. I mean, I met you at the conference, and we meet, you know, we're in meetings and stuff together and everything, but I don't really know much about you. I did a little Facebook creep this morning. You graduated from ACHS, which is the same school I went to for aromatherapy.
I think I see your diploma on the wall there.
It is, it's behind me. And then, but beyond that, I don't really know much. So who are you and what do you do?
Well, I My official name is Amanda May Fitzgerald, but I go by Mandy. So
Okay.
please call me Mandy.
Will do.
I think you already are. Sorry. And I started my aromatherapy journey back in the 90s. That's when a lot of health food stores were starting to crop up in the areas that I lived in. I was in a lot of tourist towns at that time. So I would go into these health food stores, and I was very curious because it's all alternative, soaps and different things like that, books. And I would see these little bottles, and I was curious. So I bought a few, and I think I probably talked to the shop attendant, and, she told me that they were essential oils, or I really don't, I knew very little at the time about them. So I just started collecting little bottles every time I would see one in a little eclectic store. I'd be like, oh, there's another one. Grab that. It looks interesting. But I didn't know much. And then in 99, I found V.A. Werwood's The Complete Book of Essential Oils. And I've always just had this knowing that the earth and everything that she provides does just that she provides everything that we need.
Right.
We grew up in the 80s, the 70s and 80s, and everything came in a package.
Yes.
And, even drinks were made out of a package, and everything was store-bought and packaged. And my mom did have a little garden, and my grandfather gardened. And so I knew of gardening, but I just had this innate feeling that the earth had everything we needed, that we didn't really need to buy things from the store.
Right. Right.
So when I read her book and I saw all the different ways that essential oils all the different properties that they have, all the different things that they can do, even one essential oil can clean, relieve pain, help a sinus infection, help me be calm. It was, and can help me in the garden as well. So it blew my mind. And that's when I really just fell in love with aromatherapy. I just for years did things for my family, but I always wanted more. 2012, I was getting ready. My husband's in the military, and it was about that time that they opened up the GI Bill for spouses.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And he said, well, I'm going to just turn it over to you because I'm not going to need it. I'm staying in for my career, and I can take other classes through the TA. So he handed it over to me, and I started looking, well, where do I want to go? I knew that I wanted to learn more about essential oils, and I knew that I wanted to learn about herbs and nutrition and all that is holistic. So I started looking around. I actually went to the AIA website to find what schools. They were in the back of VA's book. So I went there, and I saw American College of Healthcare Sciences, and they accepted the GI Bill, and it was like, and they taught all of those things that I wanted to know.
I know.
And that was it. So I started that in 2012, and I graduated in 2015. In the fall of 2014, I started having pain again. I've always had this on again, off again pain that would debilitate me for, months at a time. And then I would get over it. And it happened again in 2014, towards the end of my school. And so I finished, but I was, by that time, hardly able to even get the dishes done, hardly able to do small household chores. It was pretty bad. And I was determined, especially with my education with American College of Healthcare Sciences, that I was going to get to the bottom of it this time, and I was going to fix it.
Right.
Because it'd been coming off and on since my middle daughter was born in 2003. So I started going to all the doctors I could. First started with my general practitioner, and then I moved on to, specialists, different specialists, a neurologist, ENT. Everywhere my pain was, they sent me to a specialist for that, for whatever they thought it could be. MRIs, everything, the whole gambit, blood work, everything they could think of.
Right.
Nothing came back, and I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia because there was no other answer.
Right.
And I started getting acupuncture because it had helped me before. And but I let go of aromatherapy and herbs because my doctors told me, well, we need to make sure it's not the herbs and the essential oils that are doing this to you. And I wasn't overusing them, but I wanted them to know that I needed to work with them.
Right.
I went on Lyrica. Yeah. I went on Lyrica. I felt defeated. I missed my essential oils. I missed my herbs. I wanted to integrate them so badly, but for a full year, I stayed away from herbs or essential oils. And that was hard. I just worked really hard to finally get my degree, and I had to let it go.
Right.
So after all the tests were run and I've been receiving acupuncture and I started feeling a little bit better, and I was on Lyrica, but the pain still wasn't being touched, really. I mean, it would help a little, but I would still have bouts of just really bad pain.
Right.
So I said, I'm going back to it. Forget about it. I'm going to do my thing now because you guys aren't finding anything else that helps.
Right. Right.
And eventually I was able to get to the bottom of it. And I found out that I'd been struggling with PTSD for many, many years. The pain that I was feeling was body memories. As soon as I put that together, all of the pain started to just like ebb away. It was our mind-body connection.
It's insane. It's insane.
It is really insane.
Yes.
Really insane.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I still, when I get under stress, will have things flare up, which is weird. It's just weird. Things just get trapped.
Right.
But for the most part, the really bad pains are gone.
Right. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, our brain cannot distinguish between a real and a perceived threat. Our brain can't.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
whether it's a memory or a bear is chasing me, my brain sees it the same way. And it's going to
exactly. There's that part.
It's going to
right.
do what it can to protect me. And that pain, as you know, is just a symptom of what's going on. So that's amazing you were able to do that, make that connection.
Well, and aromatherapy, it was, and it really did take a holistic team. It took my acupuncturist, it took physical therapy. When I integrated physical therapy and I got the aromatherapy back into play as well, I would take my aromatherapy to my acupuncture and to my physical therapy. And it just unlocked and I know the physical therapy definitely helped getting certain spots moving. Acupuncture helped break up whatever was, I don't know how things get trapped in us, but they do.
Right.
And it really felt like it just bubbled up to the surface. Just all of a sudden one day I put it together, things that really honestly at the time I should have been able to, but that's the thing about trauma is that your brain can only handle so much.
Right. And our brain is doing everything it can to protect us.
Right.
And if part of that protection is suppressing those memories, then that's what it does. That's just how it has to survive.
Right. Absolutely.
And not to discount your medical doctors, right? So we don't want people to bash in medical doctors. They were valuable in the process of eliminations and diagnoses and ruling things out.
Absolutely. I was really lucky. My neurologist was actually also my acupuncturist. So I know. I got really, really lucky. Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing.
So, yeah.
That's amazing. So do you have an aromatherapy business, or do you use aromatherapy just in general in life?
Yes, I do have an aromatherapy business. When I decided to go back to using aromatherapy, I founded Wild at Heart Botanicals in 2017. And that same year, I also got my registration with the ARC. So I'm a registered aromatherapist and certified with them. At Wild at Heart, I create custom blends for people. I consult with people. I have 5 blends that I offer through either aroma sticks or roller balls or room sprays.
Okay.
And I was doing that with the farmers markets before COVID hit, but now it's mostly just word of mouth that I get my products sold, or I'll do consultations with people.
Right.
Again, through word of mouth, people just know what I do. But it is starting to get to the point where I've put my consultations aside, and I'm consulting with Savhera. So that's really exciting. I'm blending some blends with them right now, and they should be coming out in October. So that's really exciting. I'm really happy about that, and I'll be able to put an affiliate link on my website, so people can go to my website and order there, and I can get kickback from that. And I'm going to be adding a couple more affiliates as well. So it's exciting.
So your 5 proprietary blends, are they targeting a specific thing, or just kind of general blends?
Mostly anxiety and stress relief. My Calm blend I also have these too. I like supporting other handcrafters.
Oh,
This
yes.
is made by the Wacky Wanderers. And so this blend, Calm, is what I use the most. That's targeted at, bringing when the nerves are really, like when you're traveling or doing an interview. And I need to just I don't know if it's with trauma that your nerves get pushed so far gone that it's so hard to keep them under control. But I'll actually start feeling in the back of my neck, I will start feeling like almost like tremors.
Right.
It's crazy.
That is
so
part
this
of it.
helps that.
That is totally part of it, trauma, because when you've experienced trauma, and I know you know this, you're living here all the time. Where the average person is living here. So when they feel stress, it goes up to here. When you feel stress, it goes up to here.
It goes, woo!
So,
yeah,
that's part of it, and that, it's,
yeah,
that's rough.
yeah. So, well, and it's my trauma is geared to social settings. I mean, that's the thing with PTSD. So PTSD happens, it affects everyone who has it in a different way depending on what their trauma is. So a soldier will have a reaction when they hear helicopters or loud noises. I definitely react when I hear loud noises. They don't even have to be loud. I can be putting my headphones on and turning on my own music, and it surprises me.
Yeah.
Calm helps me with that.
That's good.
That's this blend. Strength is one when I feel like I need courage, when I'm getting ready to do a presentation or a class. I also have a class, by the way, that I teach.
Okay.
Essential oil safety. It's a crash course. Just a quick rundown of the things to be careful of when you are a beginner with essential oils.
So is that a webinar that you do, or is it just like an online course that people can sign up for and just take it at their leisure?
I have only done it live so far, but I'm hoping one day to have it available on Coursera or something similar.
Nice.
Yeah.
How often do you offer it?
I can do one a week.
Okay.
I've done them through Zoom for senior centers, church groups, women's groups. I have done it a little artists center here in Vista called Back Fence Society, and I used to offer it there for people too. So
like an arts and crafts center type place.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm just taking notes.
Sure. Back to the blends.
Yes.
I have one for sleep, for relaxation and sleep, and then one for sinus issues if if you need to be open and awake. How many did I just name? That calm, relax, strength, sinus, and You'd think I'd have this right in front of me. Isn't
No,
it weird that our minds just go,
I write things down so I don't have to remember them. So
yeah, that's what I should have done.
that's okay. It's all good. It's all good. I just want to make sure that people know that you have these things available.
I do.
They can visit your website and get those from you. So
Thank
what would
you.
you say was your biggest stumbling block moving forward with your business? Like you graduated college, you've got all this knowledge now, you had to put it on the back burner for a little bit and then you brought it back. When did your business launch and what would you say was the hardest thing for you?
The hardest thing is my own insecurities. Absolutely.
Imposter
Yeah.
syndrome?
What's that?
Imposter syndrome?
Yeah, absolutely. Just feeling like, people don't want to hear what I have to say. They're, usually when I tell people what I'm doing, they expect, me to be throwing a party at their house or, that kind of thing. And I actually really take the research very seriously. I'm on the research committee actually for the AIA, which I love. It's an amazing committee. I really get into the research and the science of it.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I love the spiritual side of aromatherapy, I really get into research. So just getting past my own insecurities, putting myself out there, letting people know that, I take this seriously and I'm actually really educated. That's my biggest stumbling block.
In the interviews that I've done, that seems to be the common thread. We've gone to school, we've taken it to the next level, we have this education, but people still ask me who I buy my oils from.
Right.
I'm like, doesn't work that way. That's not what I do. So,
right.
Getting people to understand the difference between a salesperson,
right,
and an aromatherapist.
And that is really hard. Like, where do you fit, right? Because it is hard because there is no. I went full on into this field,
Right.
Right. I didn't get my massage license first. I didn't go for acupuncture.
Right.
I may one day, though. I'm an aromatherapist, and that's not something that really has a pathway yet.
Right.
There are a lot of really prominent aromatherapists who've been doing amazing work in this field, but without some other modality, it's really hard to just be an aromatherapist. So I do a little bit of everything, and I've had to in order to get known. I'm Wild at Heart. I really wanted it to be a co-op. I wanted to find other handcrafters, and I will. I'm working at doing that still. But I had to start as a sole proprietor to show people what I do.
Right.
So I made the 5 blends. I go to the markets and I talk to people. Mostly I'm just educating people when they come up to my table, though, because a lot of people are excited about essential oils, but they really don't know much about them.
Exactly. But that's what we do. That's what we do, especially with our certificates and degrees that we get from ACHS, right? That's what they teach us. You are an educator. Yes, you're a complementary alternative modality practitioner, but you're also an educator, and we have to educate people. And that doesn't it say live well, educate others, or something like that on their logo, their motto? Live well, learn well, educate others. That's
what it is. That is what it is.
Yeah.
And I love them. I love all of the professors there. I love all of the staff.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go on a tour to Indonesia with Doreen in 2013. And it was amazing. What a great group of people that were on that trip.
I did their continuing education in Kona year before last. Oh, it was so nice.
Yeah, it's amazing that there's a lot to learn, lot to learn in this field.
And that's the other thing that's been a common thread is we're lifelong learners. All these aromatherapists that I talk to, we're not just done.
Mm-mm.
I didn't get my certificate and now I'm going to rest on those laurels and just keep going. It's like, no, I want more. I need more. We've just scratched the surface now. Let's dive a little
I'm in Joy Bowl's journal club. I go to all the conferences. I like anytime anybody puts something out, I'm like, oh, I got to do that.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
I have
because
like
it's
3 CEs sitting there waiting for, courses sitting there waiting for me, when I
right.
them. So,
Tim Miller's courses, yes.
oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, he's another great person to learn from. What's the name? Naturopath CE? Is
Yes,
that what
yes,
yeah.
yes. So good. So good. Okay, so now let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Okay.
If you had to pick 3 essential oils to have, like you could never have any others ever again, what would they be?
See, so I'm back at ACHS continuing my education. I'm working on my bachelor's right now. And we just had to do one of our discussions was just choose one of the plant families, 3 of the plant families, right? And that's a whole family.
Right.
Like that's really hard to choose. Can I choose lavender? Because it's just so phenomenal. It's amazing.
It is
It
amazing.
started it all. It started what we have, what we know aromatherapy as today.
Honestly, lavender is not my favorite scent,
Hmm.
but I use it all the time.
I'm sure you've probably checked out wild crafted lavenders, right?
I have issues from the 1990s with lavender. That's all.
Okay.
It's just
Well, that's unfortunate thing about scent, right? It's so connected to our memories.
yes. And it's
That,
not that it's an offensive scent to me. It's just not my favorite. I mean,
I
I'd
gotcha.
rather choose something else if I could, but it's such an amazing plant. I find I use it a lot, but I use it in the background. It's in there, but it's not, you can't smell it. So, okay, lavender. I'm sorry. Tangent.
It's okay. This is really hard because I feel like I want to include roots and I want to include trees, but if it's just 3, oh man, that means I'm cutting out so many others.
I know.
I'm so sorry. Bergamot and jasmine, but really I'm just saying those because they really are my go-tos.
Right.
So is sandalwood and cedarwood, vetiver.
Vetiver is way up there for me. I just love it. Oh, it's so great.
And
So
it's so connected to that Indonesian trip that I took that it really has a lot of, so it's really, really hard.
yes.
And then the mints, I mean, and all the citruses.
Uh-huh. It's so funny because I tell people that my body craves the citrus oils. Not that I love them, but my body craves them because my body doesn't digest fruit very well. If I have to have a go-to, it's going to be like blood orange, sweet orange, lime, lemon, because that's what
I always have one of those in.
Yeah, my body just craves it. It's terrible. So what is
That's not terrible.
well, I just wish my body could digest fruit well. It just doesn't. I've tried over the years. Let me try again. My body does not like fruit.
It's so sad. My daughter has a lot of allergies too. My middle. Yeah.
Oh, that's not even allergies. That's just digestive. I just can't.
Oh, really?
Don't digest them well. Allergies, though, if we're talking allergies, all of the tropical fruits, I'm allergic to their pollen. Yeah.
Aww.
So, like, I can have pineapple, but it has to be cooked. I can't have fresh. I can, like, I made something with breadfruit a couple of weeks ago here because we live in a tropical paradise now, right?
Right.
So I made something with breadfruit and I was sneezing for the next 2 days.
Wow.
The peel. So I have to wear gloves if I'm processing any food here on the island. It's terrible.
Allergies are just weird. They're just
Right?
weird. She has a pectin allergy. Pectin.
Oh my gosh. That cuts out.
So strawberries, apples,
Yep.
peaches.
Wow.
It's really sad.
No jelly. That's so sad.
It is.
Oh, okay. So back to you. Back to you. What has got you super excited right now in your aromatherapy journey or your business? What's got you like really excited right now?
Well, I mean, the Savhera stuff is extremely exciting. Extremely. And that whole thing, but really it's very exciting because it just seems very meant to be. Because I am a trafficking survivor as well. The fact that they chose essential oils is crazy. The fact that we met each other at the AIA
That's
conference,
a divine appointment. That's a divine appointment. You couldn't.
I really feel like it is. That's one of those things that just, so that really, really excites me. But also there's a program that I got connected with because of Savhera. They reached out to Savhera and asked if there was a California aromatherapist that they knew, because they needed an aromatherapist for one of their programs here in Southern California. And she's like, actually, I happen to know a Southern California aromatherapist. And Groundswell it's a program that is helping women who are overcoming trauma. So they are teaching women how to surf using the ocean, Mother Ocean, to help in the healing process. And they really want an aromatherapist to help with their sessions, their before sessions and their after sessions. So,
Amazing.
And that is my dream, to work with women and trauma. So the fact that I get to do that is really exciting. And that I get to learn how to surf, because that is also part of my there's so much connected to it. But I have always loved the ocean, I've been drawn to the ocean since I was a little girl. And one of the things that got taken away from me was I cannot get into water that I can't see in. And I've always wanted to learn how to surf. So it's perfect. Like, it's just, I'm really excited about that. So Groundswell, I'll be helping them out with aromatherapy.
Well, I think it's amazing that this organization is considering a holistic approach to trauma.
Yes.
That's really, really amazing. That's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
So you've mentioned a lot of things.
I have.
But how do people get in touch with you? How can they find you?
You can find me at wild@heartbotanicals.com. or Facebook. I have a Wild at Heart Botanicals Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, any of those places. Not that I am great at keeping up at those places, but I'm at Facebook most often.
Okay,
so
we'll list that one first then. And nothing on Pinterest or?
No, not Pinterest, not yet.
Okay, and then you also said that Savhera is going to be offering your blends. Mm-hmm. You said you're going to put an affiliate link like on your website and your Facebook and everything, so they don't have to go to Savhera. They can still come straight to you.
They can come straight to me, then I get a cut, but they can order it from Savhera as well, of course.
And then are you also going to be listed with Groundswell anywhere?
I am not sure.
Okay. I'm
not sure. And we are still in the development phase of that. So I still need to meet with them.
Okay.
I'm actually going to be interviewing their founder on my podcast as well. So more to come on that.
Oh, that's fabulous. And your podcast, the name of your podcast again.
I'll get you something I can do. Something I can do, because I need to remember that there is something that I can do, and this podcast is it.
So that's the main title, and then your subtitle is
Overcoming Trauma and PTSD with Aromatherapy.
Okay.
With Mandy Fitzgerald.
This is so exciting. There are other podcasts out there about aromatherapy, and I don't know if you remember back at the beginning of your training at ACHS, they're like, find some podcasts to listen to, and I tried, and they were all for the multi-level marketing companies. They were all podcasts for that, and I was just like, I'm not interested in that, so I never subscribed to any of them.
Yeah, no, I'm not interested in MLMs. No offense, MLMs, right. But
I don't want to sell essential oils. It's not my passion.
Right. Yeah. I want to teach people about essential oils and how they can help them, especially with their trauma. Because the fact that I can just take this scent when I walk in a room and I did not realize something would be there that would trigger me, and I can just grab this and take a quick whiff and I'm back. You can't beat that.
That's invaluable.
It is. And every time I forget it, something happens. So I also have leather bracelets that I impregnate with scent, and I always keep a necklace on me. So
That's amazing. Well,
Yeah.
I love your story.
Thank you.
And I love how you're taking your story and helping others write a better story for themselves.
Thank you.
That's,
Thank you.
that's,
And I love that you're doing this and helping aromatherapists be seen. Thank you for doing that.
I hope that is my hope, and that is my desire, is that people will find this and realize, oh, there's more to this than just, whatever's on the Walmart shelf or whatever my friend is selling. There's so much more. And every person I've interviewed has a different take, which is what I love about aromatherapy, right? You have this, it's plants, it's just plants, but what are we doing with them?
Right.
And that makes all the difference. So,
Well, and they teach us so much. I mean, aside from what they can do, they help us understand the dry herbs themselves. They help us, not that the same properties are in them. And I could go on in a whole nother tangent. So I'll just stop right there. But they teach us so much.
yes,
They really do.
oh,
Yep.
I'm so excited that you were here, and I can't wait to speak with you on your podcast too. That's going to be very cool.
I can't wait. Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, and
Melissa.
I so appreciate what you're doing. It's really
Thank
great.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Have a
So that concludes this interview. I really hope you enjoyed this aroma chat, and I wanted to let you know that I have a free gift for you. It's my ultimate guide to diffusion. All you have to do is click the first link in the description below this video. If you enjoyed this interview, be sure to click the like button and leave a comment with requests for future interviews. I don't know every single aromatherapist on the planet, and you may have a connection with someone. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so that you're always notified when new videos are uploaded. I upload a new aroma chat every other week to introduce you to other amazing aromatherapists. I'll see you in the next chat room.
good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.